The Daily is a service of CNC News, and it's made possible by the Greece Chamber of Commerce, providing more than 800 members with business solutions since 1984. Why can't we get the movies to publish? I don't know. I'm still trying to diagnose the big computer. In the meantime, I'm recording this on my laptop, which is why it's going to sound different, but at least I'm pretty sure that we could get this thing cranked out and posted. And for the time being, we're not going to put video in here and keep the use of slides to a minimum until we figure out why the heck these things are not publishing when I hit the button. They do seem to when I just do the audio track, so basically that's what I'm going to do for now. Anyway, New Yorkers polled just before the government shutdown weren't letting it dampen their confidence in the economy. While national consumer confidence decreased by more than 4.5 points, New York's rose by nearly 3 points. The Siena College Research Institute does monthly polling on New Yorkers' collective mood about the economy and their willingness to spend money on things like furniture and refrigerators, and they say we're basically shrugging this thing off. New York State's web portal to the Affordable Care Act got 2 million hits in the first 90 minutes when it went online Tuesday morning, and that was enough to cause technical glitches that caused some people to get error messages. Speaking on a tour of the Anthony Jordan Health Center in Rochester, Lieutenant Governor Bob Duffy said it was a practical demonstration of the need for affordable health insurance. Duffy said everything was fine by afternoon, and we've had no trouble repeatedly connecting to the site. The state health department said it got 7.5 million web hits on the site during that first day on Tuesday. Well, Obamacare has lifted off, but the arguments over it that shut down part of the federal government go on with no cooling off of the rhetoric on either side. We're looking for unexpected effects of the shutdown. Please put a comment through the links on the CNC News pages when you run into one. Here are a couple to start off. Teamsters Local 118 requested a federal mediator after its members voted down the final contract offer from Wegmans this week. But no federal mediators until the government funding bill is passed. And the murdered West Webster firefighters, Mike Ciparini and Tomasz Kachovka, were to be honored this coming weekend at the National Fallen Firefighters Memorial in Maryland. But it is in a building that's closed because of the shutdown. Organizers of the ceremony are working on a backup site. They say it's a stopgap, but Rochester School District, city officials, and Transportation Authority officials said changing the system of bus passes will keep too many high school students from going downtown after school. Starting Friday, students will have new passes that will limit their use of the public buses to traveling directly to and from school and at the appropriate times. Students have been able to make transfers on later buses if they wanted, but groups began lingering downtown and confronting each other. Last week, a fight broke out at the Liberty Pole and ended up in gunfire. A suspect is still being sought. The new system puts students on the express buses that bypass downtown wherever possible. Those who must transfer routes downtown will get a time-limited connection pass that requires them to catch the very next bus towards home, or else they'll have to walk. A young Rochester man was shot Tuesday night during a fight at the corner of Dewey Avenue and Glendale Park in the Edgerton neighborhood. Police said the man was hit in the upper torso in the late-night shooting. Was taken by a private car to Rochester General. He was not cooperating with police during his interview. Police are asking anyone with information to call 911. And the same goes for two people who fired shots at each other near Wilson High School on Tuesday. This was in the area of Genesee and Flint Streets at about 12:45 Tuesday afternoon. Rochester police said a school resource officer at Wilson heard the gunfire. Officers responded and they eventually searched with a K-9 unit, but they didn't find the two suspects who had run off. No injuries were reported. Two parked cars were hit. A former Lions high school football star and his father are among 8 people arrested in the breakup of a Wayne County cocaine trafficking ring. Horace Betts III was described by one investigator as the Al Capone of Wayne County. Police said he ran an operation that distributed a kilo of coke a month around Wayne County, and he used his reputation as a football player and his family's connections to thwart efforts to gather evidence against him. Well, Betts was finally brought down by a joint task force of investigators from 3 counties, the state police, and federal DEA agents. It took 2 years, but they were finally able to infiltrate his organization and penetrate the no-snitching wall around him. They witnessed a large-scale transaction between Betts and his drug supplier. Police seized $35,000 and half a kilo of cocaine. More arrests are expected. Rochester police have charged a mother with criminal possession of a handgun and endangering the welfare of a child after her 6-year-old found the gun and shot himself while playing with it. Konika Campbell is 23. Her son shot himself in their home on Rugraff Street on Sunday, and he is recovering. Campbell was home and immediately did call 911. To the left of the player window, you'll find the links to these and other stories, and at the bottom of the page, links you can use to post news and information directly to us. Next podcast, as it happens, updates as necessary, pictures or no. We'll try to get this sorted out. I'm Bud Lowell.